Hey guys, it's Mo from Mo in the Deep End with Monday Mornings with Mo and Friberto. Friberto decided to wake up at 3 with violence on the mind. So we have been up, we have been raring to go, and I decided on today we'd start with a possible miracle because you know what? Today, maybe more than most days, we need a possible miracle. So, from Yahoo News and Insider, we have a church in Kansas City says they have a miracle. Now, this has not been like Pope ordained, so this is just a possible miracle, not a legitimate miracle yet. Being a recovering Catholic and, you know, not exactly full Catholicism again, I can only say that this is like a claimed miracle, but we will go ahead and count it on today because it is Monday and it is the anniversary of 9/11. So, good morning, Gigi. So, we are claiming a miracle because you know what? We need it. But a church in Kansas City claims they have a miracle. A body of a nun who died 4 years ago has not decomposed and might be a saint. So, in what I remember from catechism class, if you have a body that kind of remains impregnable to the ravages of time, it can be a sign of sainthood. Now, again, this is a failed Catholic telling you about these things. So take this all with all the pounds of salt because Lord knows I don't remember not one thing. My grandmother, God rest her soul, probably is shouting down from heaven like, "Mo, remember catechism." And I've forgotten, but she could be a saint. A Missouri abbey is allowing people to visit the body of a nun who died 4 years ago. The abbey's nuns say Sister Wilhelmina Lancaster might be incorruptible. So, incorruptible means that her body has not changed since she passed away. And again, vaguely from what I remember, that means that, um, it's a miracle and some bodies don't decompose after death, and it can be a sign of sainthood. A small abbey in Kansas City say they have a wondrous mystery on their hands, a miraculous preservation of a nun's body who died 4 years ago. And you can come see her for yourself in a small Missouri abbey every day from 8:30 to 3 or to 7 PM. So if you are in the area of Kansas City, Missouri, and you would like to see a mummified nun, for reasons of blessing and or curiosity and or miracle seeking, Sal, we might have a field trip, just saying. Although, if you and I go, we're both wearing Crocs because 'cause they're rubber soled, and I don't know that either you and I together should go into a church. Just saying. The Benedictines of Mary, Queen of Apostles, who run the Abbey of Our Lady of Ephesius, were shocked when they exhumed Sister Wilhelmina of Lancaster. Why did they exhume her? I have questions, but we will continue. And found her to be almost perfectly preserved after 4 years in a coffin, the New York Times reported. Even her habit, the headdress often worn by nuns, was immaculate. Probably not. You know, we'll send other people in our stead t to be on the safe. We can definitely go see the Museum of the Erotic, history of eroticism, but this might be a bridge too far for us, Sal. The nun's intent was to reinter Lancaster, who died in 2019 at the age of 95, in an honorable place within the church. But finding her preserved body led them to suspect she is incorruptible, a Catholic term referring to those whose bodies miraculously don't decompose entirely after death, the Time reported. Regarding what seems to be the miraculous preservation of the sister's body, we are given the opportunity to contemplate the great gifts God gives us every day, especially ones that are literally hidden from our eyes. Reads an undated letter on the website for the Benedictines of Mary. Lancaster would be the first Black incorruptible in the world, as well as the first American incorruptible. Most cases have been in Europe, Times reported. I used to think something like this could only happen in Europe or St. Louis. 13-year-old Edith Rich, who volunteers to hand out water to people waiting in line to see Lancaster, told the Times. There you go, Gigi. Thank you for taking one for the team, because, you know, it may be one of those things that Sal and I probably wouldn't wanna try out. The Abbey plans to inquire as to whether Lancaster may be canonized as a saint in the future. Friberto, where are you going? I spent, like, at least 5 minutes trying to get this freaking camera working. Go back to pineapple bed. Good morning, Kim Farhand. Hamhand. I swear to goodness, I have had the worst luck with names today. I tried to do at least 2 articles and had to scrap them because I was named out, to be honest with you. So, we started today off with a miracle, and unfortunately, I have to go to kind of a, well, dingleberry story. But it you're here for good and bad news. It is from California. But good morning, Kim, and thank you all again very much. As you can sort of see, we got the cat clubhouse, I'm calling it, up. I did not ask Mr. Mo for help at all. I did it all by myself. It only took 4 hours and a lot of cussing, but I did it. Absolutely did not use super glue, except to glue those. So they've got those little, like, wooden peggy things that you're supposed to put in, and then, well, so you're supposed to hammer them in, but I was ah, okay, Farnham. Okay, I was afraid that if rhymed it with Barnum, it was gonna be wrong. My first impression is always that I'm wrong. But I did do it all, so it did take a while, but it was all you guys' donation and the pineapple bed. So, you guys, I am so grateful. This has been kind of an odd year, so thank you all so much, all of you who donated to the cat tree. They got 2 cat trees out of it, so that was really awesome. Labor Day sale is great, so they got the cat clubhouse, which they really like. The only thing they don't like about it is that Fry, for reasons of the cat or the pet camera being what they are, Fry has to be relatively close to it to get them all in frame, so they don't really like that Fry is even near it. But let's get back to the story after I thank you all profusely. California school district to pay 2.25 million to sex abuse victim of teacher who gave birth to student's baby. Move over, Mary Kay Letourneau. Apparently, you have a second teacher. A southern school district will shell out 2.25 million to a sex abuse victim of a teacher who was impregnated by another student. What is wrong with these teachers? Swear to goodness, I cannot with these teachers anymore. Also, Mary Kay Letourneau passed away, and I looked at Time or People. Look, I have a guilty pleasure. People is not news, but I check it every morning when I wake up? Yes, yes, I do. Uh, let's be honest, the mom is gonna raise the kid. The money really goes to the mother. This is my biggest nightmare. I am going to get all of my girls, the oldest one who thinks boys are stupid, the middle one who is boy crazy, the third one who I'm afraid is gonna shank a boy if he tries to get fresh with her, so I just need bail money for her, and I'm gonna get all the boys into trade school, except for that youngest, most feral, and I'm gonna get that one crazy teacher who's gonna try to have an affair, and she's gonna end up with triplets. Swear to goodness, it's my biggest fear, and then I'm gonna end up raising them. It Swear to goodness, if I end up with the crazy Mary Kay Letourneau teacher, y'all are gonna see me on on the Snapped episode. It's gonna be how Mo done snapped. The settlement brings the total amount paid by the Redland United District to Laura Whitehurst's victims to 8.25 million since her arrest in 2013. Florida or Southern California News Group reported the latest lawsuit was filed in 2021 by former Redlands high school student who claimed Whitehurst preyed on him from 2007 to 2008 when he was just 14 years old, according to the plaintiff's attorney. Yeah, yeah, seriously. I I will lose. And then you're all going to be interviewed. "Look, y'all, she was crazy from the get-go. We knew she was gonna." I don't get what look, have y'all heard 12-year-olds and 14-year-old boys talk? I couldn't imagine being any sort of attracted to them because I'm a normal human being. These women are all the cray cray. Whitehurst later admitting to having smexy times with him as much as 15 times inside a San Bernardino classroom and at her apartment. The English teacher and soccer coach pleaded guilty to unlawful abuse with 3 former students, one of whom she shares a baby with. What is wrong with people? She served 6 months in jail. 6 months. Again, you guys, I know I harp on about this, but if this was a dude, this man would be, locked away, thrown the key, and she has to register as an offender in 2014, the same year she gave birth. The school district last agreed in 2016 to pay another victim, the father of the teacher's child, $6 million for the abuse he withstood. And let me guess, she probably has full custody of that baby. I cannot with this. Whitehurst gave birth after having abused this student for a year, starting when he was 16. The boy claimed the Redland United's officials knew of his relationship with the teacher and failed to warn his family. Are we shocked about California? Anyway, apparently the taxpayers of this California school district, because it's not really the school district. Yeah, that's kind of how my 17-year-old daughter is right now, and I hope she stays that way, but she's like, "Boys are really, really dumb right now. Do they get less dumb?" And I wanna say yes and no, but I was like, "Look, they get less dumb, but they're" look, you're always gonna look at your husband and or significant other sometime and just think, "What is wrong with you?" Like, when Mr. Mo comes in from cutting down, or cutting up logs, and he knows that the worst thing in life is when he wants to hug you and he's all sweaty and he just knows I don't like it, but because he just likes to do it because he's aggravating. Look, no matter how old they are, because Mr. Mo just had a birthday, they're always going to enjoy aggravating you. It, maturity happens slowly. I know. Good Lord. Do we have to have a Mo think it over at every single teacher's, you know, graduation from college, basically where I go in and I look at each of these graduating things and I say, "Look, mess with some young boy and you're gonna have a crazy mama bear, looks like me, may not have crazy ass red hair. Do you want this face coming up with you? Eh, do you want this face in your nightmares? Mess with a young boy because his mama is gonna be there, okay?" I mean, do we have to have a Mo think it over at every single one of these graduations, like a little talk about how mama bears will mama bear? Because 'Cause I'm willing to charge for this kind of, motivational speech or unmotivational speech, if you will. I'm willing. Give me a call because I can explain exactly how my sniped episode will go in graphic detail, you know, allegedly, to each and every one of these teaching college, as a deterrent, if you will. I am willing to start this. I have a market idea. Sal, we need to get together. We have I sense a market opportunity. Yeah, yeah, believe me. So, it's hard to answer truthfully when my 17-year-old daughter's like, "Are they do they get less dumb?" And I was like, "Well, sweetie, it's a s it's on a spectrum, okay? I'll use language that Gen Zers can understand." Anywho, let's go to the next story. This one is kind of fun just for me. I pick stories that I think are fun. If you guys find stories that you think are fun, I am always willing to, uh, add those to the lineup. This is not where this is not late breaking news, obviously. Um, Look, guys, I have tried yoga. I need to try it again. I know it's great for, balance and everything else. If there are a couple things that I don't excel in, it would be A, relaxing, B, relaxing, quieting my mind, and C, stretching. So, this popped up in one of my feeds, and I was like, "Oh, dear lord, this might be my favorite story." Yoga class meditation exercise confused for ritual mass murder scene. And I was like, "That's going in. This might be my favorite story." September 8th, police descended on a community space in Britain when some local dog walkers mistook a yoga class's group meditation exercise for results of a ritual mass murder. The Seascape Cafe at the North Sea Observatory in Chapel St. Leonard's, England, detailed the unusual incident in a Facebook post. Quote, "If anyone heard the mass police sirens in Chapel St. Leonard at 9:30 PM last night, then please be reassured," the post said. "They were on their way to the observatory after someone reported a mass killing in our building." I'm not Good morning, Holly Moore. I'm and yes, free Zachariah Anderson. I'm not laughing at a mass killing, but in our building, having seen several people laying on the floor, which actually turned out to be the yoga cat class in meditation. Quote, "Dear general public, please be mindful that the observatory has a lot of yoga classes happening in the evenings. We are not a part of any mad cult or crazy clubs," the post said. The class teacher, Millie Laws, wrote on her Unity Yoga Facebook page, "The police were called when some local dog walkers mistook the scene for a ritual mass murder." To be fair to dog walkers, um, look, dog walkers, joggers, general people just trying to be healthy and walk around, we tend to find the bodies and or get attacked by deers. So I'm just saying, it's not their fault that they thought perhaps in this political climate and in this world today that maybe, just maybe everyone had drank a whole lot of Kool-Aid. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. I would have been laughing my collective balls off. I don't think I would have been able to write the Facebook post. I have to do a video, and I would be snorting, laughing in tears. I would have had to do 2 videos, like, one for apologizing for snort laughing and possibly snot bubbles, and the other one, like, explaining what had happened. Law said the class had already dispersed by the time the police arrived. Well, then they should have known that it wasn't a mass murder or it was a Christmas miracle. I'd have said I revived all of them with my magical yoga skills, but I'm a smart ass. And I don't think British police really like that, considering didn't they just jail someone for, um, I think, a young girl with autism for, um, saying that a police officer looked like she liked other women? Didn't they go run into her house? So, I don't think the British police would really like it. She said she learned about the police visit in a phone call from the building's manager. I was very shocked, she told CNN. It was surreal. I didn't quite believe it was true. Having spoke to most of the people who took part, they have just said how mad it is. We are all participating in a beautiful, deep relaxation, and I could have never run through any of our minds that it could have been taken this way. Well, they do call it coffin pose at the end. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. A police representative confirmed officers were called to the building for what turned out to be a mistake. Quote, a call was made following concerns for the occupants of North Sea Observatory at Chapel St. Leonard's. Officers attended, and we are happy to report that everyone is not dead. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone is safe and well. The call was made with good intentions, the representative said. Like I said, to be fair, dog walkers seem yeah, I mean, that poor autistic child who got, basically SWAT teamed because she thought, perhaps, uh, the officer looked like she liked other women. It's really not fair. Yeah, if you see something, say something. Really, it seems like they're just getting mad at people for doing what they asked them to, and like I said, dog walkers find an amazing amount of dead people. Yeah. That poor little love. I know, I felt so bad for her because, look, having seen the officer in question, I would have said the same thing in my head. I'm not saying what I'm saying. And now on to another funny story. Apparently every if you need a prison pocket, if you know what I mean, apparently this woman, is capable of an expandable prison pocket of note. Woman arrested after allegedly hiding avocado-sized plastic sandwich bag full of various drugs inside her prison pocket. Baby prison pocket, not the other prison pocket. Apparently, this was all I don't know if all of this that I'm circling now with my clicker was in said prison pocket, because I think that's somewhat larger than an avocado. Maybe they'll have, like, just the avocado-sized pocket. But, and she's from Indiana, and I am all about Indiana state pride. Oh, I know. Well, and she has a positivity only, notebook. She's trying to be better. She's trying to be positive, and she's got Delta 8 gummies. I mean, she was trying her best. Vibe check, she was positively only, and you need to have positivity, when you want to, utilize your prison pocket for various reasons. An Indiana woman believed to be a unlicensed street pharmacist, if you will, and a repeat offender has been charged after allegedly faking a heart attack and hiding an avocado-sized parcel of drug in her prison pocket. Amanda Smith, 41, stands accused of one count each of dealing the method acting pills, 1 or more grams, dealing a narcotic drug with intent to distribute fentanyl, dealing cocaine, dealing a Schedule III controlled substance, according to Wayne County court records reviewed by Law and Crime. Earlier this summer, Smith was charged with allegedly robbing a woman after beating her up during a meeting where the victim intended to buy a supplemental nurt nutrition assistance fund from the assistants. So apparently she was going out to buy SNAP benefits or something from this woman, and, yeah. Well, if it says something about whole yeah, I could not with this story. It said something about prison pocket, and I was right there. On September 4th, Smith was arrested again following an alleged interaction with a would-be drug purchasing clients from a Phillips 66 filling station in Richmond, a small city that sits along the eastern border of Ohio. Eh, She really, I mean, yeah, her hands were full. She was trying to write her positive thoughts in her notebook, and, you have to write notebook and write. What was she gonna where she couldn't have a purse. Wayne County Sheriff's Department Deputy Ryan Riggs allegedly saw Smith talking to drug users, so he followed her car when she left, then performed a traffic stop when she failed to use a turn signal. During the traffic stop, a police dog named Cooper gave an alert that suggested drugs were likely somewhere inside the car on Smith. Then the defendant promptly allegedly faked a heart attack, according to when if boobs fail, heart attack. Just go with me on this one, children. This is not life advice. This is what she tried, apparently didn't work, but this was her thought process. If boobs fail, heart attack, prison pocket. I know. As Bradley Yon has shown us, I mean, what are you gonna do with pins in a cup and everything else? It's all shenanigans after that. While she yelled about her purported cardiac state, Smith allegedly forbade Richmond EMS from running electronic tests or evaluating her condition. Authorities, however, took Smith to the hospital where she allegedly refused to remove her clothes while demanding to use the bathroom. By then, law enforcement believed the defendant was engaging in an extended effort to conceal drugs from them while biding her time to finally get rid of the evidence. After a while, Smith allegedly agreed to change in the presence of nurses and admitting to having some fentanyl in her underwear, law enforcement claimed. But the nurses allegedly saw something else, telltale signs of a sandwich bag hidden elsewhere. Nurses relayed this information to law enforcement. Smith denied it. The woman would deny the allegation even after she was taken to Wayne County Jail, where a body scan revealed what the deputy called an abnormality in her pelvic area. Oh Lord. The absolute can you imagine your day and you come home and you're getting your your wife has meatloaf and mashed potatoes on the table, and she's like, "Honey, what'd you do today?" And you're like, "Well, pelvic abnormality, Wayne County." Uh, Smith allegedly admitted to concealing drugs. She removed what the deputy reportedly described as an avocado-sized plastic sandwich bag from her vagina. Isn't that just again, writing your report, like and we wonder why people are functioning alcoholics. I'm just gonna say, like, you either turn to really salty snacks and you might become a bit fluffy, or you turn to booze. Or if you're really healthy, you work out. But most of us police allegedly tested the content. Oh, and they had to test it too. Oh, I hope you were using gloves and Lysol wipes and all the hand sanitizer. And God, really, I really hope that these drugs don't just sneak away from the hold-up locker. We have some prison pocket drugs. Yeah, avocado. I would think like baseball, like sports ball analogy, but avocado. That's what we're going with, okay? Or pear, but no. Found methamphetamine, cocaine, and fentanyl and other powder, maybe baking powder. Each drug had been individually wrapped and placed in a sandwich bag. Okay. Apparently, she was very OCD. She made sure they were all separated. Jiminy Christmas. Investigators also claim to have found a ledger in the vehicle. Oh, well, her positivity wasn't even about positivity. It was just a ledger that had all of the Well, now I feel sad. I was hoping that maybe she was really being positive. Fooled us again, Amanda. Amanda also was in possession of several forms of medication without a prescription. Well, shame on her. What kind of unlicensed, unregulated street pharmacist is this woman? The WCSD said in a press release several thousand dollars were also seized as part of the investigation in suspected drug dealing. Well, let's hope that that also doesn't get out of the lockup. Law and Crime reached out to Wayne County's authority for additional details on the story, but no response was immediately forthcoming. Interesting. Smith was released from Wayne County Jail on Tuesday after posting a $4,500 bond. She is next due in court on September 20th for the drug charges. A separate bond revocation hearing has been scheduled for the 18th. Well, I'm sure that she won't do any more criming while she's out because she seems like she'll go right back onto the straight and narrow. America's not broken. Our justice system isn't broken. This woman seems like she'll reform within the she'll never use her prison pocket for bad again. She's already she was already on bond that needs to be revoked, so okay. No, I am not a lawyer, I am simply a and our last story comes again from England. Yeah, yeah. I feel bad for these people, but our last story is also from England, and I thought, "Why not? This looks like fun. I might do it one day." It looks like a new thing to be added to the bucket list, or it looks like something that our my youngest, most feral would love to do. Competitors get down and dirty at Britain's Bog Snorkeling Championships. It also looks like something Harry Potter had to do in the Triwizard Tournaments. I d look, I don't know. I was trying to find something fluffy and nice that wasn't, all of the 9/11 because I did a 9/11 video, kind of on its own, but I didn't wanna do it on Mornings with Mo. Let's see, London AP. Intrepid athletes donned snorkels and slithered through slime on Sunday during one of Britain's quirkiest sporting events, World Bog Snorkeling Champions. The annual competition in the tiny town of okay, it's Wales. There's 2 L's and a lot of something Welsh, we'll ask alternate corner, Wales. Sees competitors race to complete 2 lengths of 60 yards, 500 or 55 meters in a water-filled trench cut through a peat bog. They can use flippers on their feet, but conventional swimming strokes are banned. Interesting. Some contestants accessorize their snorkels, masks, and flippers with more flamboyant touches. One carried a giant plastic toad on their head, another had a bathing cap adorned with flowers. Spectators also got in on the fun, with two wearing pink cardboard boxes proclaiming them to be limited edition bog snorkeling Barbie and Ken. Competitors at the 35th annual competition or contest hoped to beat the time of the current world record holder, Neil Rudder, who won in 1 minute 18 seconds in 2018. So it wasn't a very long story, but awesome. It it's in Wales. I look, other than having and I'm not making fun of alternate corner, but look, I have seen Welsh names on maps, and there's, like, 37 consonants and 1 vowel, and I already struggle with just American names. I struggle with normal names. So, God love them, but apparently, this is the kind of so she is wearing a giant hey, I'd like to see a sport not invented with booze. Okay, well, this is not as impressive as I thought it was gonna be. I thought that they would have, like, an actual bog and you'd have to go find stuff. But, look, it's a bunch of people outside doing stuff outside without their pads and without their tablets. Look, I can barely say normal things. You'd be shocked. I had 2 videos I had to scrap this morning because I was like, "How do I say normal name and out?" It was atrocious. But that is all I have for this morning. It usually takes longer for me to get through the articles, but I know today I wanted to do the I might join Baker if he is doing the Carla Rentala case. I know it looks like something that my kids would have so much fun with, and I would probably look like, you know, booze has helped a lot of things. I'm not saying it helped us get through a world where no one had deodorant and keep the population going. Yes. Now, I will say that tonight I will probably try my first, evenings with Mo. I'm probably gonna come up with a good name if I think of one, but at 7, so I'll have 5 or 6 other stories that I find throughout the day, probably fun ones. Because honestly, a lot of today is going to be, somber reminders, and I have one video that I put out, but, to be very real with you guys, we do a lot of somber, we do a lot of, crime cases, we follow people at the worst times of their lives, we give kind of funny commentary, but voices to the victims. So, as I find funny stories throughout the day, I will find them. I will try to um, see if Sal wants to come on. I know everyone has kind of their own schedules. So that's what I will do. Now, I will probably going forward tomorrow. Now, um, Reindeer did let me know that they are doing a case or kind of a meeting today. They're not sure if they're going to continue the Gareth Purse House case the rest of this week because of shenanigans. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know if uh, someone else is sick or what have you, but she did say that they are going to see if they're following that case the rest of this week. So I might jump on with Baker and help him with that. But Uh, that being said, I will probably do evenings for the rest of this week with instead of mornings with Mo, unless I can record them just because of when, the cases start. Usually, they start at 9. So, that is my plan for the rest of this week unless something changes. But oh, and thank you, Reindeer, for the, update. That was really helpful because I did not know that, and I will be getting off of here to go see if, Baker wants me to hop on with him or I can start my own stream. I'm not quite sure, but I try not to divide you guys between us when someone else has already started. So, I will see you guys, wherever anyone wants me to hop on or if I need to start my own stuff. And thank you, Reindeer, for the update on the Gareth Purse House. You all keep me much smarter than I appear to be. You all make me look much smarter. I love the collective intelligence of the internet. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you a little bit. Bye, guys.